Hello folks, Simulation for the Nation here. Today we are talking about pigs in Farming Simulator 25. So you've decided that you want to bring some pigs into your farm, but you just don't know where to start. Well, hopefully this video will give you the right answers to your questions. We're going to start though, going to break this down into a few different categories. We're going to start with the first category being pastures. So if you want to jump on into your menu, we're going to come down to construction here, and there are quite a few different options here for pigs, like there are for the other animals as well. Varying different sizes, and some of them have a few different features. The base version is this one right here, which is of course the standard pasture. You can build it any size you would like, and it does take water. It's one of the only ones that will have to require you to fill up with water. It takes water and feed, and then you can choose as and when you put it down there to either keep the pasture the same size if you want to, or you can customize it. And if you do customize it, make it any shape you want, that will of course extend the number of animals that you can have in there, but we're not going to do that right now, and we're just going to put the meadow in there as well. And that's it, job done, nice and easy. They do range in size. Some of them don't come with a pasture, some of them do. This one right here, for example, at 67,000 is all self-inclusive and doesn't have any pastures in there at all. And then you get to some much larger ones. This one is actually a shed as well, so we'll have a quick look around this in just a moment, but it does give you the option to put a little pasture in here as well, so you can really extend it and make sure it works to your needs. Now we're going to do that, and there you go. Moving on down the way as well, some will come, like this big one here comes with its own silo, and then you can obviously change the size of the pasture to go with that one as well. And finally you have the same thing again, but just on a lot larger scale. We don't want to customize it, and we'll just say yes, and down it goes. Now, there's a couple of things that we need to pay attention to with these. Obviously, first and foremost, do they require water, or are they just looking for straw and your regular feed? That one, like I say, is the only one that does require water. Some of these have a lot larger silos, so they can be filled up and just left alone for their own devices, and some of them will require constant top-up. So you just need to make sure you're aware of which type you have. Some of them, such as this medium-sized one here as well, will collect slurry for you and have a slurry lagoon on there, so it's something to point out and bear in mind when you are deciding which feature you want. I will say as well, we'll get into it later on, the quantity of slurry these pigs do produce is quite high, so it's something to really consider, as it's a great byproduct that you can either use, and of course you could sell on if you want to. Now this building here comes with its own storage area and machinery shed, so it is an all self-encompassing setup really. Give you everything you need for your for the pigs themselves, and then also for a starting shed. Come on in here, and then there we have our pigsties, and we're all set. Now, this side right here, whilst it doesn't have an actual slurry pit or lagoon, it does have a trigger for you to collect from there as well, so be sure to keep that in mind. So you've decided on which pasture you want. You're going to need to fill them with some lovely little piggies, and there are 3 different breeds you can choose from if you come on into your animal trigger here. You have the German Landrace, you have the Bentham Black Pied, and you'll have the Berkshire as well. 2 different age groups to purchase from inside each of the groups, of course 0 months old, so day old, and 3 months. Quite a considerable change in the price there, and also worth considering as well that the delivery fee does change depending upon which age group you get, from the 30 to the 40, because obviously they're a larger animal. I would typically recommend going for the 0, just because there's more value there. When you do fatten them up and not breed them, you'll be able to make a little bit more money off them as well. But for our scenarios today, we've built a bit of a selection of all different types across all the different paddocks there, and they're quite rapid little things when they're out and about. They are zooming all over the place, and they are very, very hungry. They do require a lot of food, and and that comes with quite a cost. However, you can feed them pretty much anything you want. If you get closer, you'll see right now they're all looking good on the stats here, but it's when you come on into the actual information itself there. Let's just click on the ones that we have here already. You can feed them corn, wheat, barley, canola, sunflowers, soybeans, potatoes, sorghum, or sugar beets. So pretty much anything there that you can also buy from the store directly. Bags of pig feed, I will warn you, they are quite expensive and they don't go very far in terms of how much they'll fill up a silo. We have 1 on the trailer here right now, and that's 1,000 litres in there, like any other bag, isn't it? It doesn't last very long, it will disappear. You can also feed them chicken feed, because that is just wheat seed ultimately, so you can feed them that as well, and that will do as good a job. And you'll see as we come on over to the trigger on this particular, around the corner here, we'll come into here where we've given one of the bags. You'll see that the a lot of all of the different categories have been ticked off because we gave them the pig feed. It kind of adds a bit of everything in there, but it's not a great deal. So that's what I mean. You really need to make sure you provide a lot of food in there. So when you are deciding and determining just how many head of pigs you're going to have, it is also worth thinking about just how much food you're going to have. They do eat a lot of everything, like I mentioned there, but they are going to take a lot of feed. And so if you're going to be farming cereal crops, be sure to make sure you add enough into your planning, because otherwise you're going to have to rely on actually buying it through the store, which we've determined in previous videos is very expensive. Now, many of these pastures also take straw. Now, that straw can be delivered in different ways. You can either use your standard bale shredder, which I have parked over there, for example, but there is a cautionary tale with this one. Somewhere like this trigger right here, or even this this shed right here, you can blow the straw straight in through the side, not a problem. However, if you create your own pastures and change it around a little bit, such as this one, you may not be able to reach in there. So what you can do is just place your straw bale right about here instead, and that will be used as well. And you can see this, that's exactly what I did here, and the straw has been counted. As you have the food and the straw or water, if it's applicable as well, filled up there, the animal health will maintain 100%. Day one, it usually starts quite low because you bring your livestock in there and they don't have anything, so you need to add those on quick, add all those different categories up. But eventually they will get to a point where they are self-sufficient and they have plenty of food. Keep on top of that one, your animals will stay at the consistently high 100%, and you'll be able to maintain their highest sell value. Now what we determined with our beef, and I'm going to assume it's the same, is that once they get to a specific age of around about 12 months or so, they will typically start to eat a lot more food than they will be putting on value. So it's probably worthwhile keeping an eye on that to see when the preferred time to sell these animals would be. I would say selling them as well by your own livestock trailer will be a much better option, because look at the speed of that one, by the way. Because you're going to save a lot of money per head. I think it's about £40 at that stage when they're a large animal. So you'll save significant value by selling them yourself. Now that might mean it's going to take a lot of trips, but it's going to be something that's worthwhile. Now, should you want to breed your own animals, you can do so. You can buy in your original pigs themselves, and they will start to breed once they get to 6 months old. So you're gonna have to keep them for a while until they get to that point in time, and then when they are, the gestation period is going to be 4 months as well. So there is a bit of a cycle inside that period. However, you can certainly start to develop your numbers and increase the size of your pig farm quite substantially by breeding your own there. Be mindful though that the cost to do so for feed and the original breeders will be quite significant. Now, unfortunately, there is only really one way that you can sell your animals of any type, and pigs are included in that, and it is through the auction mart, or the livestock mart itself. On Riverbend Springs, you will find that on the opposite side of the main road to the machinery store. So it's really from the main starting point here, not too far away, specifically if you're going to be taking a lot of different trips over there. And as I mentioned, that it is a lot cheaper to sell them by taking your trailer over, but you can come on into the store here, choose the number of animals that you want to sell, and of course you could sell them through that route as well. But keep in mind, of course, there is that fee. You're losing nearly £2,000 there. So to sell 50 of them, for example, there, you're losing about 1/6 of the price of your sale price in transport. So it's definitely worth considering. Now, one day I would love to see some more productions coming in for your livestock, such as butchers and the likes. But for right now, at least that's not an option, and all you can do is sell them through the store. One thing you can do as well to increase the amount of revenue you make from your pigs, if you don't require it on your own ground, is of course take the slurry and sell it over at the local BGA, bring a nice little bit of extra revenue in from a byproduct that is quite substantially produced. Take a look at this pen here. You've got 475 litres of slurry already. They've only been here since the beginning of today, so about 5 hours in game, and already producing quite a bit there. So it's certainly something that over a given like 3, 5, or maybe a 6 month period that you're going to see creep up quite quickly. So that's something you could definitely bear in mind. Now, if you are planning on just farming pigs so you can breed them, so you can fatten them up and sell them, I'd probably recommend staggering them out through the year there, much like I have done with beef. Be sure to continually bring in new day-old pigs there from the every kind of month or 2 months, just so it really spreads out the age cycle, so you can bring them in, and then you can also cycle them out there when they get to a certain age. When you find that you've gained enough profit from them, really, and keep that cycle going. It spreads out your profit margin. It spreads out your sales throughout the course of the year. When it comes to buying pigs, I would only look to bring in the day old, unless you're specifically looking that you want to breed your own, in which case bring in the 3-month-old, because then they're closer to their breeding age of 5 months. Otherwise, go for the cheaper option, bring them in young, fatten them up, and then sell them on for more profit. And really, with pigs, they are very simple. There's not much more to them. They eat a lot, they grow a lot, and then you can sell them for a lot as well. And that's about it. As long as you maintain those feed bars and make sure all is well and healthy, then you are good to go. Do that, and then you'll make quite a bit of money off pigs, and you'll be in a great place. I hope this has been informative. My name has been Simulation for the Nation. Many of the guides out there from myself around all the other animals and livestock within Farming Simulator 25. If you have enjoyed this, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe for more, and we'll see you in the next one.